Make your way down I-10, out to 347. You take the Henderson exit to the landing out there. And remember the day when the cypress trees grew thick, when the fish was still biting and the land was still free.
My name is Landry. I'm a songwriter from Southwest Louisiana. You're basically telling people your story and the story of people that you care about. So you're opening yourself up for a lot of criticism.
Hunting and trapping and making my ways.
When I can't afford to play my music, I work with my buddy Greg Gerard out in the Atchafalaya Basin. And when I can't afford to work for Greg, I go get a construction job. But either way, man, I like telling my stories, playing my songs.
This place ain't the same. And ain't it a shame that we cut down them trees? I was preaching that sermon, my children today, they can't take them out fishing, no fish in the bay.
I actually wrote a song about Greg probably 3 or 4 years ago. I was driving down the road, and he was on a radio show talking about when you look out on the interstate and you see all the trees cut, most people think, man, that's probably always like that. But no, man, there used to be a lot of beautiful trees before they cut all the cypress down. It was full of cypress and oaks and just beautiful wildlife.
Everything we see around us now is cypress forest. The only trees we see alive now were either trees that were hollow and still living, but they don't have any wood in them, or young trees that were too small to cut when the logging was going on. I'm a commercial crawfisherman, for one thing. And then I'm looking for logs at the same time. So I pull out the cypress logs and take them to a sawmill. Tie some big chunks of styrofoam on it. And then hope that the spring high water will lift it out of the mud.
Yeah, I think when it gets a little higher, though, it did move. That's a good sign. I mean, that dude financed a car for me, basically. He said, look, you got a decent car, $800. You're taking half of your pay until you pay it off. Sell that piece of crap truck you got so you can go on the road. And it worked out good. So, man, I know he's looking out for me. He's offered to loan me a bunch of money to get my CD done, but I'd rather work for it as I go. I don't want to owe anybody a big chunk of money, but I know if I need something, man, he'd be there for me. He's a good guy.
Live in the basin, hunting and trapping and making my ways. Grandpa was rankled and old like a raisin. The life of a coon as he lived your way. Daddy would tell you this place ain't the same. Ain't it a shame that we cut down them trees? And I was preaching that sermon, my children today, they can't take them out fishing, no fish in the bay.
So I'm working on a book I've been working on for years called Psychotherapy for Cajuns, where I try to define what it really means to be a Cajun. And there's a lot of characteristics. But a Cajun is a guy that's going to make it no matter what.
That's what we all here gathered around today for. But that's it right there. That's what all the fuss is about.
What's Cajun mean to you, dude?
Oh, that's a culture, man. That's heritage, man. That's where I'm from, man. It's in my blood, it runs thick.
Cajun? I think it was a politically correct word to keep from saying coon ass. I think the coon asses, or people that refer to themselves as coon asses, you ever skinned a coon? Obviously not. Well, the rectum of a coon is tougher than boot leather. And I guess they see it as a metaphor for being tough. That's all I can figure.
Are you a coon ass?
Damn right.
And remember, you're only an exile, Katie. Don't you let them take off.
Well, the first CD A buddy of mine, Steve Stubblefield, said, Drew, I will record that CD for $100 a day. And so I said, all right, dude, I got $300. Come down for the weekend. And even though I had no business trying to play a guitar back then, I called every one of my friends that could play any instrument, and everybody helped me out. I mean, most of those songs other people played on. Probably about half of them I even played guitar on. I usually do like several hundred at a time. I get my mom or one of my friends to come out and help me do it. Tape. It ended up being a pretty legitimate CD. I mean, good enough to where I put it out on the market, wrapped it up in cardboard, and I think people respected me for getting it out however I had to get it out, you know. I don't know, man. I know it's a little different than most people. They order a bunch of CDs with fancy books and shit. And good for them, but for about 75 cents I could do this versus $1.50. Throw it in there. Not going anywhere.